Human life is primarily influenced and also shaped to an extent by the kaleidoscope of different emotions. Emotions are triggered by our feelings. It is our feeling that largely determines the choices that we make in our lives. Right from the childhood, we are faced with different triggers that give rise to a myriad feelings and emotions that shape our personality. Why some people are always melancholy and depressed, while others are bullish, and still others get panicky at the first sight of danger, can be understood with the overarching dominance of one type of feeling and emotion in their life. In my research on entrepreneurship, I'm always intrigued with the question as to which feeling is the primary trigger for achievement in any vocation or enterprise. And I would like to present my findings in this presentation. It is generally believed that there are 6 types of fundamental emotions that largely govern our life. These are happiness, sadness, disgust, anger, surprise, and fear. In my research, I have observed that among these 6 major emotions, it is fear that controls and shapes to a large extent our entrepreneurial personality and our fight or flight approach towards life in general. Let me elaborate on this theme. Nothing makes us more uncomfortable than nagging fear. And we have so many fears. Just imagine fear of pain, fear of pandemic, fear of disease, injury, fear of not being accepted, fear of missing an opportunity, fear of being scammed, fear of failure in business, fear of a new job, fear of bosses, fear of competition, fear of not getting raise, just to name a few. Fear invokes the flight or fight system, and our first reaction is often to flee back to our comfort zone. If we do not know the way back, we are likely to follow whoever shows us a path to that comfort zone. And let me add this, marketeers have used fear as a motivator as often as they can. They present a scenario they hope will invoke our sense of fear. Then they show us a solution, a path back to our comfort zone. That entails using their product or service. Fear is used to sell almost everything: cars, tires, life insurance. They are classics. But clever marketers also use it to sell breakfast cereal, perfumes and deodorants, and so on. As a result, we purchase all sorts of things that a generation ago were considered absolutely unnecessary: antibacterial soap, CCTV cameras, Fitbits, vitamins, the list goes on and on. But fear can be too powerful to use as a motivator because it can also paralyze. The classic deer in the headlight syndrome. Would you like to use fear to motivate your employees to perform better? If you don't sell more gadgets, more phones, more soaps, more cars, you're fired. It can work, but there are rules you must follow for it to be successful. To use fear successfully as a motivator, a solution must be offered with it, a new path to follow. You can tell employees that they need to sell more, but unless you show them how, fear will cause the flight or worse, paralysis. It is such a strong driver of our behavior that it may also form the basis for every other motivator in our life. In that sense, fear is a prime motivator because it is rooted in our childhood experiences and it moves us subconsciously. It is now an established fact that entrepreneurs need to have a strong achievement drive. Achievement implies having control and power over things and environment and over people. It is the fear of losing out that largely triggers the motivation to achieve. A certain amount of controlling behavior is a healthy, natural, shall I say, survival instinct. But after a point, it becomes harmful. When that happens, normal survival is no longer the motivator. Underlying the quest for power is fear, and the desire for power is to eliminate fear. The more fearful a person is, the more control over the environment they believe they need to feel safe. If you don't believe me, look at some of the leading politicians of 2021. I can say that those who are most fearful of their of continuation of their power are the most controlling kind of leaders. Fear can produce two diametrically opposite behavior patterns, best exemplified in the fight or flight syndrome. Imagine an entrepreneur failing in his venture. The fear of losing out may force him either to abandon his quest or it may spur him to trot ahead till he succeeds. There also appears a strong correlation between fear and our locus of control. Whether we believe that we are ultimately responsible for whatever good or bad happens to us, or our life is governed by or influenced by external factors such as luck, fate, God, or destiny, it is essentially the survival instinct born out of fear that determines the way we shape our life. Both these adaptations are in a way our adjustment with fear. Imagine a patient suffering from a terminal ailment. The strong external locus of control helps him or her to put his or her destiny into the hands of God. Thus, it relieves them from a certain fear of death. So, coming back to entrepreneurship, what aspects of it are influenced by fear? The competitive spirit has the origin in the fear of losing out. The passion for work and being in the lead also has the fear as the prime motivator. It is important here to point out that fear can be a dampener or a motivator depending upon the mindset of that individual. A slight digression here. My work involves working with smallholder farmers in Africa and Asia. In my work, I have tried to identify entrepreneurship among men and women from the smallholder communities across different geographies. We were examining entrepreneurship and creditworthiness among the bottom of pyramid men and women. The analysis revealed some surprising results. It was observed that men distinctly showed more entrepreneurial bent of mind, but scored low on honesty, diligence, integrity, and hard work. Shortcuts and looking for immediate gratification were quite evident. While women were low on entrepreneurship, they had high achievement drive and scored high on honesty, diligence, integrity, and conscientiousness. In short, men appeared more entrepreneurial but less creditworthy, while women appeared more creditworthy, had drive and will to succeed, but less entrepreneurial, mainly due to limited opportunities and the fear which has been embedded in her psyche since she was born. Let me explain this. Our results, were consistent with many other results obtained from Kenya, Tanzania, and Senegal. It does look like women get less opportunities to be entrepreneurial, but their entrepreneurship gets reflected virtually every day in the way they manage the household chores. They mostly engage in menial jobs, apart from managing the household work, looking after the children, which anyway is a full time job. Women more often than men have struggled to take a stand against fear to follow their life's calling. Many challenges women face in the business world, which are internal and promoted by stereotypes and societal beliefs. As a result, women have been conditioned to believe fallacies that have hindered their ability to effectively take charge of their own lives. Fear has become quite the culprit, dictating when, where, and how women should feel discomfort, ultimately discouraging them from achieving the success they seek. Whether it is fear to ask for a promotion, a raise, or to just walk away from a dead end job and start their own business, women have statistically been less likely to brave their fears and act. So let me try to explain how do we tackle the, shall I say, the omnipotent and the omnipresent fear from our life? At the outset, let me make a point that fear cannot and should not be eliminated, but it should be understood. A certain amount of fear in the form of uncertainty, lack of reference, lack of clarity about the road ahead, which is full of blind detours, is essential to propel us forward. Firstly, we must understand that fear is like a roadblock that we need to remove or bypass it. This can happen only if we decide to move forward. Not moving is akin to have a status quo or like having a paralyzed body. Moving ahead is progress and learning. The realization that we have no choice except to move ahead, albeit cautiously, is the first step entrepreneurs ought to take. Business failure is likely to happen, but that need not deter us from our path. Instead, we can learn from our mistakes and ensure that the same does not get repeated. That's the way to beat the fear. Secondly, we must realize that strengths and weaknesses are internal, whereas internal and in our control, whereas opportunities and threats are external, on which we have relatively less control. However, if we work on strengthening our mindset and overcome our weaknesses, we have better chance of manipulating the opportunities. Thirdly, we must deeply embed in our psyche the import of the prayer, which I'm sure all of you might have heard. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things which I cannot change, and courage to change the things which I can, and wisdom to know the difference. It is this wisdom or awareness about what lies in our control and what is not in our control helps us to remove the fear. Lastly, let me answer this question, where fear comes from. And the blunt answer is it comes from us, within us, from our own minds and imagination. It is important to remember that as humans, we have evolved to a stage where almost all our fears are now self created. We scare ourselves constantly by imagining negative outcomes to any activities we pursue or experience. Our mind works in a way as to what can go wrong rather than what can go right. But just because we can imagine all these things happening, that does not mean that they will happen or that they will be as painful as we think. It is in this context many have termed the word fear, F-E-A-R, as fantasized experiences appearing real, because fear is all about what might happen, not necessarily what will happen. Instead of allowing ourselves to imagine a worst case scenario and be victim of our fears, we can take control of our own minds and consciously decide to think positive thoughts and visualize a best case scenario instead. To conclude, while admitting that fear is an essential element, primordial element ever present in our life, presenting in myriad forms, we must try to understand it, anticipate it, and use it productively to succeed in our chosen enterprise. No doubt a difficult yet manageable and doable exercise. Fear is to be embraced and used as a ladder to climb. Successful entrepreneurs realize this much early in their game, and that is the reason why some are able to conquer this and succeed in their enterprise, while some get into procrastination, blame game, and status quo. Thank you very much.